In this video, I'm going to show you how to fold a patty bat designed by Talo Kawasaki. Diagrams were first published in Creased magazine, issue number 5. See creased.com for details. It's a superb bi-monthly publication, both in print and digital, and features designs that range in complexity, from diagrams for simpler designs up to crease patterns for quite complex designs. Now, the patty bat is a wonderful action model, especially for Halloween. Here's the action again. It's also simple enough to fold with kids, and you can fold it from printer paper. So it'd be quite a fun activity to fold this with a classroom full of kids. Now, depending on where in the world you live, the printer paper will actually have different sizes. In the US, for example, your printer paper will have 11 inches by 8.5 inches. And in Europe, for example, you'll use A4 paper, which is 29.7 centimeters by 21 centimeters. So if you fold this from printer paper, here's one I folded from printer paper, the wingspan will be about 25 centimeters, or with letter paper it will be about 9 inches. Actually, if you're using A4 paper, you can skip 2 steps, and I'll tell you about those. So I'll be working with paper that has the same ratio as letter paper. It's kind of a bit wider, whereas A4 paper is a bit longer. But now let's get started. We're first going to fold the long side of the printer paper in half. Then unfold again. Now we're going to take this half of the edge and fold it to the crease line. Pay attention not to cover the crease line, but rather leave a very small gap. This is especially important if you're working with kids, so that, you know, if they work a bit imprecisely, it's not going to make the folding process harder. Then we're going to rotate, and now there are the 2 steps that you only do with letter paper. The first one is we're going to take this edge and bend it over to these 2 edges here and make a small pinch mark in the center, or maybe on the sides if you want. And then we're going to take the edge and fold that section in. Again, this is only if you're using letter paper and not if you're using A4 paper. So now we've kind of narrowed the paper, if you can look. Now it has a closer ratio to A4. So now we're going to continue with the next step, irrespective of whether you're using letter paper or A4 paper. Now we're going to take this corner and fold it in and leave a slight gap here again. Not a big one, just enough so that a crease line actually fits inside. Especially again, if you're working with kids, it's better for them to leave a small gap rather than to cover the paper, because then there will be several layers. It will be harder for them to fold, and we want to make it easy for them. So then we're going to take this whole section and fold it up, making a crease line kind of where it automatically goes, just because of the layers, the distribution of the layers. And then we're going to fold this whole triangle here to the back. So I'm first going to actually just pinch it so that it aligns with the edge below. And then I'm going to turn it around again so that I can align this crease line with that crease line, which makes it much easier to make quite a straight crease. There we go. Then we're going to take this lower edge and fold it to this upper edge, but we're only going to pinch in the center, and this is quite important. And as a guideline, you shouldn't pinch farther than this section, which is kind of the head, and possibly actually a bit less. So just bend it, and then just take one finger and press down quite hard. Maybe take 2 fingers, depends on how big your fingers are, and then you have that pinch mark there. This is going to be important for the action. Now we're going to take this slanted edge and we're going to bring it to the center line and make a crease. We're now shaping the wings. This isn't going to affect the action too much, so especially here, if the kids work a bit less precisely, it's not a problem. Then we're going to start a couple of creases in this point up here to shape the wings further. So first we're going to bring this point down to that point. I'm going to rotate the model because it's easier to fold away from yourself. So start a crease in this point, bring that point to that point. And then press down. And now we're going to start a crease in this point, going through that point. Or in other words, you're going to make an edge that aligns with the edge below. That's probably easier. And then again, we're going to make a crease so that the edge you create aligns with the edge below. And one final time, we again make a crease that aligns with the edge below, or you align this edge with that edge in there. Really depends, it's up to your taste. Both should be quite fine and almost the same crease. So again, start your crease in this point, align this, this point here with that point. Then fold back and forth, always aligning the edges you create with the edges below. There we go. Now we've formed the wings. Now we're going to start forming the head section by taking this triangle up here and folding it in, leaving quite a nice gap here, so that we have enough space to form the ears. And then make a nice and strong crease here. Now you can open this up again so that it's perpendicular, so that it sticks up, I guess you could say. And then we're going to open this and we're going to work on the action. So for this, we're going to flip this over, and there's two important things. So first, it's how you hold the paper. I suggest you use your thumb on the head and your middle finger here below, and you take your index finger and you push here while pushing your middle finger and your thumb together. So it's kind of this action and this action. And you have to do that while bending these wings to the top. This is quite important, and it's good if you bend these up quite a bit. So I'm bending these up, then I'm taking my middle finger, my thumb and my index finger, and I'm pushing together while pushing up. Pushing together while pushing up. And then there's a flap action. Now you'll see that there's this crease here. Usually it will turn out too long rather than too short, but you can lengthen it to make it a more regular flap. And if this is too long, I'm just going to try and kind of make this a bit too long to show you what happens. It actually doesn't pat. So if that happens, just push on the crease so that it's actually shortened on both sides. Can you see that? Now it's a bit shorter, and maybe that's enough already, yes. But you can even make it shorter so that the patting action of the patty bat is a bit nicer, a bit louder. To form the head, you can additionally kind of again make this perpendicular, and now we're going to really try to push in here and form the ears. If you push in here, I'm trying to show this quite nicely to the camera, you can fold this tip down a bit, and then the head looks a bit nicer too. And can kind of adjust the crease again a bit, and there you go. So I hope you enjoyed this model by Talo Kawasaki, the Patty Bat, a wonderful action model, and you can fold it from black paper if you want, you can fold it from red or whatever you like. And I hope you had fun with this, and happy folding!